So hello there for this part 2 of our cutscene tutorial. This one will be like simpler because we will do the dialogues for the characters. So the first thing to do is to use an entity called dialogue. So I put my marker here. I put like all the dialogue like in an array here. So you go to add dialogue. And we'll add all of them. I will call this one first 01. I prefer to start 01 than 00. And then I put my marker on the side and I just copy it 2 times, like this. So now I have my 3 dialogue that I will use for the cutscene. What I want to do is I might fill the dialogue right now before doing the triggers for them. So how it works is that you just want to open like the dialog window here, and then you have like a list of different dialogue that will happen one after the other. So for here, what we want to do for this cutscene is that we want to have Paxton like talk without like before appearing to the guy, to Bishop, and Bishop will answer to something like, hey, what is there someone there, right? And we'll use already existing dialogue for that to create that cutscene again, like we did like with the animation. So I have all of that like kind of like set up in advance, so it works correct. But yeah, like Paxton would talk to like the guy would say, what's this voice? And Paxton would then appear from the corner like we did previously, and he'll tell that he is having like visions with Alma. So then he play the animation, and then he won't talk until he reach the guy, and then he say like other things like, did you hear her? And like he's getting like attacked by those visions, let's say, for Paxton. So instead of having like a control, Paxton is kind of like being attacked by those vision by Alma. So we'll do that. There's like dialogue for that. So for the first thing is that we can put a delay for each dialogue. So this start right at the start of the cutscene, and we put a delay of 8. So it plays a bit, not now, like it waits a little bit. And for the dialogue itself, we need to use like ID number. And to know which ID number corresponds to which dialogue, you need to open the string edit tool. And with here you have all the dialogue for the game. You have like the English text, and then you have like Spanish, German, other different like text. You even have like comments from the developer. And you have the French version, which is the one I can understand. And you have also really important is which character is talking, saying the dialogue. So you can click on the top to like organize each like each tab. So you can organize by character, and you can like make all the fiddle together. Paxton fiddle dialogue will be all together, so it's really useful. And to know the ID, you just check the first, which is string ID, and then, for example, if I want to use Paxton fiddle, will you let her die? Then you need to use the ID 14722. So that's all you can know which dialogue goes, which ID to use with which dialogue. So that's it. And then I will just like put the dialogue that I already know that I want to use. So for the first one will be 14126. So 14126. And the other thing is that you need to tell which person will hear that dialogue. And most of the case will be for the player. But for a multiplayer game, for example, it could be like a specific player. But for us, it's just the default player. And you can also put an icon to the dialogue. Like when you see like in the base game, you can see like an icon of the people talking to you. this is where you put it, but we won't use that because it's like a cutscene. And you can also have a command for each dialogue, which is really useful also. So for the other dialogue will be, for the delay would be 1. So we wait a little bit. So the first dialogue is Paxton talking, and then we wait a little bit so the guy has time to like think about it, and then it will answer, Bishop will answer back with this dialogue here. 15191, and for the player again. So here Paxton will say something, and then the bishop will say like, who's there, right? And then after that we want to wait more, like 3 seconds, and then bishop will talk again and say like something else, and Paxton will say nothing because Paxton is kind of like a non-talker. So 15236 for the player. And that's it for this dialogue. The other dialogue will be when Paxton will reach the first node. So let's fill that one. This will contain only one dialogue, and we don't wait for it. It's like when Paxton reaches a node, he just talk. And he says something like, she sees everything, or like Alma is like in my head, right? So 14649 to the player, and that's it. That's it for this one. And then Paxton will walk to the second node, and then it will play the third dialogue. So for this one, we wait 5 seconds, so we have time to like sit down before talking, and then it will say something like, did you see her or did you hear her, to a bishop. So 14650, 14650. Again, it's like they are talking out to the player because we need to hear what they are saying, right? And for the next one, we wait a little bit, and you say something like, she's in my head, or like she's too strong, she's my head, and then it will like faint. So 14652, the player again. So 14652, and this is it. And then we want to decide when we trigger those dialogues. So the first thing will be with the trigger. So for this one, we want to trigger it right at the start, because inside the dialogue there will be a delay of 8, I think. So all the delay will be handled inside of the first dialogue. So I just trigger it right at the start. So I send to the dialogue one on command, which is like the trigger command to trigger it. And yeah, then for the first node, this one will be different because we want to have it like the first thing in the script will be the dialogue before we play the animation. So we want to copy the animation to a second action. And then as the script, we want to send a message to dialogue 2 to trigger. And this will be the first action. Okay. And for the second node, we want to trigger dialogue 3. And for this one, we also just trigger it like right away. Dialogue 3 to activate. So this one will trigger right away, and again the delay will be inside the dialogue itself. And that's it. That's it for the dialogue. So way more simple like tutorial. And we will test it. So let's do that. I don't know, the audio might not be strong enough. Let me check this, put that like that. And if we have like subtitle on, we should see the subtitle also. Like depending on your game language, you see like the proper subtitle for each dialogue.
You are persistent.
The first one.
Is anybody there? Is that supposed to make me feel better?
And Paxton will come out of the place.
She sees everything. You felt it, haven't you? She's reaching out to us.
And that's it. That's it for this part. We'll see you in the part 3 for the camera. So in part 3 will be kind of complicated, I think, because we need like multiple camera and like to animate between different camera, like to make a proper cutscene. Because now I'm just like the player moving around, right? I could like just punch them, but you want to like see it as a cutscene. So okay, that's it for this one.